We are only 4 days into the new year. And I don't know about y'all, but there's plenty of people I know personally who have not started. You start the year, you're like, hey, I'm going to lose all these 50, 60 pounds, years of damage, and we're all going to solve this within a few months. We're only 4 days in, haven't packed food yet, hasn't gotten your diet yet, and we're all trying to figure this out. But are we going to let the year pass by us? Are we going to let this be a repeat of 2024, 2026? I don't think so. This time around, especially for me last year when I discovered, I was like, man, the peptides, the game changer, the revolutionary thing that's going to take over the market and is going to change people's perspective on how they're going to be interacting with food or even losing weight. And I can tell you firsthand, as somebody who not even used to, but works out 4 or 5 days a week, get your blood checked and your body and everything else going on. I'm like, bro, you can't bend over and touch your toes. You're screwed. You're screwed. Or I'm gonna say that you're going in the wrong direction. And this doesn't have to be a path that you have to stick on and expect that there can be no change. But these micro changes do add up throughout the year. And again, we're only 4 days in. You still got time to fix your diet, still got time to change your habits. And I can tell you, over the course of even 3 months, you can make life-changing and sustainable actions. So I'm gonna say around last year, I discovered, I was like, okay, Tide is gonna be that thing, right? And the reason I chose not to do like the other ones that people typically do was because I saw the benefits, especially for people who work out who didn't have like muscle loss. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But how am I gonna be feeling every day, right? I did about 3 months of intensive research and figuring out what people's personal experience were. And when I finally got down to it and I find out that, okay, not that many serious symptoms to worry about. I was worried about like dizziness and sick. Didn't feel that. And even like feeling dizzy, I'm surprised I didn't feel that. Because though you may go mornings and you won't eat or you won't feel like there's certain moods, you'll still be able to eat what you need to and not feel like you're under pressure, not feel like you're having to fight yourself throughout the day, thinking about your next meal, sitting in the car thinking about what you're going to eat later and the next day. And it's not this constant loop and process of eating. Man, throughout this year, I can say, man, I took a lot of time of just food on the back load. It was the last thing in my head that I would think about. There's been many days where I was sitting in the parking lot of the gym. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. And I looked at him like, damn, you stuck to it. And mind you, I was thinking about like what? I think 2 milligrams, something like that per week. But I'm glad I took the first step and took control of my future. And I know many other people who do have beliefs in themselves about how they want to change and develop, that they won't lose hope that it's not possible. You can touch your toes. You can do a couple push-ups. Your life can change just like that. Especially when these habits that you've partook in for so long are ingrained with you. Overeating, the moods, the health complications that you're not even accounting for. All these things that I kind of take in. And even aside from just the Tide or whatever other that you see online, because I can only tell you about what I've, taken. You also got to get your budget together. These things aren't like a crazy price, but the price on your health and the damage that you've done to it through bad eating habits, may that be through like food addiction, may that be through hormonal changes, the year has started. The world will leave you behind. It won't stop for anybody. So I highly suggest you take the time and make the necessary changes that you need to, and allow yourself for new opportunities, things that can be changed. And that's also why I started this YouTube channel. I do love fucking Wizard 101 hella, but it is a constant reminder of who I was before, who I was when I did play it, and how I want to transform this into a medium to communicate to like the audience, even if it's through nostalgia. And throughout this process of playing Wiz, and I'm like, man, I think I can talk to the people. And I'm like, this is something I can actually look forward to doing every day, watching some Wiz gameplay, and then telling y'all about, hey, this is how I went about this. This is how I finally figured out. Because I have been dealing with sickle cell for the majority of my lifetime. So it was a world upside downer to find out that there was something that could actually help me, right? And that was the Tide. And I took it for like several months, and I don't regret it at all. Even today, I'm like, man, my only New Year's resolution at this moment and point in time has been, okay, I want to just work out more, stay back on good nutrition, and make sure that these habits aren't gonna change. Because I'll tell you one thing is, even when you, on those days that you feel like you want to cheat on yourself, right? You want to buy the fast food or the McDonald's or any of these habits that you know that you really shouldn't be partaking in, you'll probably feel sick after. I know I did. There were certain days and I'd be like, man, I'm craving Popeyes like a motherfucker. Go to Popeyes, nothing. And when I mean nothing, about an hour or two after you eat that Popeyes, you gonna be on the toilet blowing it up. Your literal psychological thoughts about food shift. You can't even enjoy the stuff that were the chains of your obesity beforehand. You become almost this new person overnight. I want to say over a week, but I'm gonna even say over a night because the changes are that drastic. And when you're approaching new changes like this in such a chaotic way, it's good to have guidance, because I definitely was still doing research after the fact, making sure all my symptoms were good, changing up with like the doctor and making sure the health was and everything else was straight. But I'll say in this new year, take advantage of everything. Things that you didn't think you would try, or in a safe and proper manner, is what I'm talking about. Try. It can always be better. You can always be better. And I'm looking forward to making more content on this channel for sure. And we'll be talking about health and money. And one of the topics for this video was going to be like the low ROI that people have on their bodily health and autonomy. But I will let y'all watch the last few minutes or 1 or 2 minutes of this gameplay. As you can see, popping with the meteor, game a little slow, boom, and watch the enemies drop. I appreciate y'all and thank you for clicking. Subscribe. Thank you.
You find the sacks of provisions the jackals took from the wagons, now to return them to Captain Sunrunner.
That was quick. If we don't retake it, we'll lose major ground. Help us out. Defeat the Greyhorn mercenaries and free the Igoka prisoners.